There is a strange feeling many people have today. Life, in many ways, is easier than it has ever been. We have food in supermarkets, heating, medicine. We can learn, watch, and buy almost anything, contact almost anyone being in our apartments. And yet, somehow being okay feels harder. Not surviving, not answering emails, just being okay. Staying calm, focused, sleeping well, feeling like your life is enough, like your own mind is not constantly being pulled in 10 different directions. And when this happens, most of us blame ourselves. Maybe I have no discipline. Maybe I'm addicted to my phone. Maybe I'm lazy. But maybe that is not the full story. What if the reason that life nowadays feels so mentally exhausting is not because you're weak? What if it is because your brain evolved for a world that no longer exists? Your brain was not built for the modern world. It was built slowly over thousands and thousands of years for a very different kind of life. A life with less information, less choice, less processed food, less constant comparison, more physical movement, more silence, more direct contact with nature, danger, and other human beings. It doesn't mean the past was better. The past was brutal in different ways. Disease, hunger, violence, early death. Maybe the human brain was built for different conditions. And that difference matters. Because today, many of the systems inside you that were designed to protect you are being triggered all day by things they were never been designed to handle. Let's start with attention. Your attention is not just a productivity tool. It is a survival system. For most of human history, noticing sudden movement, sound, or threat could save your life. If there was a strange noise and you face a possible danger, you paid attention and your brain treated it as important. That made sense. But now novelty is infinite. You open your phone to check one message and suddenly there is a notification, a video, a comment, a meme, another video, and another reason to keep going. And the scary part is not that you're stupid for falling into it. The scary part is that your brain is doing exactly what it was built to do. It is noticing novelty, it is trying to stay updated. The problem is that the environment changed. Your attention evolved for a world where important signals were rare. Now it lives inside a machine where important-looking signals never stop. So when you sit down to work, read, or think, and your mind keeps jumping away, maybe the problem is not only that you have weak focus. Maybe your focus is being forced to compete with the most optimized, attention-capturing system ever created. And this is where modern life becomes strange, because it removes the things that regulate us and then sells us solutions of the dysregulation. It overloads attention, then sells focus. It removes silence, then sells meditation apps. It removes movements, then sells fitness. It removes community, then sells followers. And then, when we struggle, it tells us the problem is personal discipline. But how much discipline should a normal human need to just have a normal day? How much willpower should it take to walk through a supermarket full of food engineered to override fullness? How much self-control should it take to ignore a device designed by some of the smartest people in the world to keep you looking? How much inner peace should you need just to exist inside a world that constantly wants your attention, your fear, and your comparison? That brings us to a second pressure, other people. Human beings are deeply social animals. For most of our history, your social world was limited. You knew your family, your group, your village, and your rivals. Belonging mattered. Reputation mattered. Because exclusion from the group was dangerous. Your brain still cares about social rank. It still watches other people to understand where you stand. But now your social brain lives inside a global comparison machine. You wake up, open an app, and immediately see someone's perfect vacation, perfect body, perfect relationship, new house, successful business, disciplined morning and evening routine. And even if you know rationally that this is curated, your nervous system doesn't fully experience it that way. It still compares. It still asks, am I failing? Why does everyone else seem to know what they're doing? The human brain was not built to compare one ordinary life against the highlights reels of thousands of people. And the result is a very modern kind of loneliness. You can see more people than ever, but feel less connected. You can watch someone's life every day and never speak to them. You can know what someone's ate for breakfast, where they traveled, what they achieved, and still have no real relationship with them. I think most of us have experienced this in some form. You pick up your phone because you feel a bit lonely. Not dramatically lonely, just that small quiet feeling at the end of the day. And then you start scrolling. You see friends, strangers, jokes, beautiful places, people living, people talking, people performing happiness. And after 10 or 20 minutes, somehow you do not feel more connected. You feel further away, as if you just watched life happening somewhere else. And now your own room feels quieter than before. That is the part we do not talk about enough. Modern connection often gives us the signal of social life without the nourishment of social life. The face is there, the voice is there, but the presence is missing. And your nervous system knows the difference. This is why the word normal can be misleading. Because normal doesn't mean healthy. Normal now is constant availability. Comparing yourself to strangers, carrying global tragedy in your pocket. Normal is not necessarily healthy, it's just common. So if you feel distracted, anxious, tired, or strangely disconnected, that doesn't automatically mean something is wrong with you. It might mean your mind is responding normally to abnormal conditions. And that recognition matters, because shame makes the problem worse. When you think, I'm weak, you become smaller. When you think I'm lazy, you lose trust in yourself. But when you understand the conditions, something changes. You can stop turning every struggle into a personal failure. You can ask better questions. Not just how do I become more disciplined, but what keeps stealing my attention? What kind of information am I consuming before sleep? When did I last move, go outside, speak to someone face to face, or do one thing without interruption? These are not magic solutions. This is not a 5-step productivity system. It is just a different way of seeing. Because maybe staying sane today doesn't mean becoming perfectly calm, perfectly focused, or perfectly in control. Maybe staying sane means noticing when the world is pulling you away from yourself and gently pulling back every time. Because the modern world will not stop asking for your mind. Your attention is valuable. Your fear is valuable. Your time is valuable. Sanity is not just about feeling good. It is about protecting the parts of you that makes you human. Your ability to pay attention, to rest, to think, to love people in real life. To know when enough is enough. So no, you are not crazy for finding this hard. You are not weak for feeling overwhelmed. You are not broken because your nervous system struggles inside a world of infinite noise. You are human. And maybe the first step towards sanity is not fixing yourself. Maybe it is finally understanding what you're up against. You're not losing your mind. You're trying to keep it in a world no mind was built for.